Amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new amazing Doctor Who video here on Paul Who, the channel all about our most beloved favourite Time Lord ever. And of course for this video it is a review, so I'm going to be reviewing Doctor Who Pyramids of Mars. Now I'm not basically going to be reviewing the original version. I'm basically going to be reviewing the new version that we have for part of Tales of the Tardis. So before I do get into all that, I'm going to literally show you what I own from this story before I talk about the fantastic new version we've had as part of Tales of the Tardis. So I own the fantastic target book of the story, the omnibus version of the actual film of the program. So this is the omnibus version where all 4 parts have been edited together, a bit like the brand new version. And then of course I owned from 2004 the DVD release of the story. And then that's not all I own for Pyramids of Mars. I do own other random bits and dabs. So I own 3 figures from Eaglemoss. So we've got the 4th Doctor from Pyramids of Mars, Sutekh from the story, a fantastic robot mummy, and then of course I own from what I got from Comic-Con before I had to go and look after a family member. We have got robotic mummies of the story. That shouldn't have happened, but never mind. So yeah, we've got another robot of the robot mummy. And then of course we have, I just literally picked that up and before getting to the actual last figure. Pyramids of Mars has decided to fall over on the VHS. So let's put the robot mummy back on display. And then, of course, we have Sutekh, the jackal head of Sutekh. Look how good that looks. Everything will turn into dust. Darkness. I found that good. So, I absolutely love Pyramids of Mars. It is honestly my 3rd favourite Tom Baker story. So, to talk about a Tom Baker story, I thought I have to wear my fantastic Doctor Who t-shirt of the 4th Doctor. And, of course, his most iconic scarf. And of course I'm wearing my 15th Doctor necklace because basically the opening of this story we do see Millie Gibson and Ncuti Gatwa playing Ruby and the 15th Doctor, talking about how the Doctor defeated Sutekh last time, which basically is because Sutekh is now back in the finale. So what can I say about this most iconic, fantastic, amazing, classic, terrifying story? So before I get into it, let's talk about the Tales of the TARDIS set. I absolutely love that fantastic memory TARDIS. I loved it when I first saw it in Tales of the TARDIS when it came out in November with basically Earthshock, the Mind Robber, which was broadcast. Then of course we had the Mind Robber. Sorry, we had the Mind Robber, the Time Middler. That was it. We had the Time Middler. We had the 3 Doctors. We had Vengeance of Eros. And of course, we had the Curse of Ferric. And the only one that was actually missing in the original release of these stories is, of course, a Tom Baker story. And that is now basically been fixed with this fantastic release of Pyramids of Mars. So I really love the fact we got basically the 15th Doctor and Ruby talking in the memory TARDIS. So I also want to talk about how good this is. Now, this has basically been re-edited. We've got a brand new version of the story. We've got updated CGI effects. We've got new music score. And of course, it's done so brilliantly. And of course, we have some new sound effects into it. So I want to talk about basically all the characters we've got at the moment in this story. And then basically talk them. So of course, we have the Doctor in his 4th incarnation. We've got Sarah Jane Smith. Then, of course, we have Sutekh, again, who has made the fantastic return to Doctor Who, which I absolutely love. And, of course, Gabriel Wolf's voice is still iconic and booming in the story. And, of course, I cannot wait for Empire of Death later today when I go to the cinema to watch it. And then after that, we have Marcus Scarman. We have Lawrence Scarman. We've got Dr. Warlock. We've got the Egypt person, the admin, something like that. We've got Collins, we've got Aine Clambert, who basically is the hunter. Then of course we have Naiman, and then of course we have robot mummies in the story. So that's basically all the characters. So for a fantastic 4-part story that's basically kind of been like edited into 75 minutes, something like that, a bit like the Daleks in colour. Absolutely brilliant. So the story ends up basically opening up on Egypt in 1911. Of course, we have Marcus Scarman doing a investigation in Egypt, looking for the tomb of the Eye of Horus, aka Sutek's tomb. Sutek is trapped by the eyes of Horus. Now, Sutek is basically the last of his species. He's a godlike super being. So this is where basically he's more like a man before he becomes more like a beast that we see in The Legend of Ruby Sunday. And the Doctor does kind of explain that it was more easy to defeat him in the humanoid form than in the jackal form. So I am quite looking forward to see how the Doctor and Ruby are going to defeat Sutek in basically Empire of Death. We're going to see it in the summer later today. Also, I absolutely love it. So after basically Marcus Scarman goes into basically Sutek's tomb, and of course as he walks in, I love the new CGI effects. Now, because when you watch the original version, you just got Marcus Scarman doing that scream, and then of course it cuts to TARDIS travelling in the time vortex. But just as he does the scream, we see Sutek. So I kind of like the fact we see Sutek in full glory. This has really been remastered. You can tell it's been remastered. It looks so good. I really want this to have a DVD release. I really would like to see a box set, a Blu-ray box set or a DVD box set called Tales of the TARDIS, and have all of the basic 7 stories released in this fantastic. And of course, this is just brilliant. Absolutely just brilliant. So, of course, we have a brand new model shot of the TARDIS travelling through the time vortex. We've got the 4th Doctor with Sarah Jane. I love it. I really love how they've kept the line where he goes, "I'm a Time Lord. I'm not a human being. I shall walk in eternity. I am 750 years old. Yes, I'm middle-aged. I shall go running after the Brigadier." So, the TARDIS is basically travelling to Unit HQ until it gets pulled off course and lands in England 1911, the same year, but basically a few months apart after Marcus Scarman's basically been disappearance in his hotel. So we have basically this Egyptian person literally playing an organ, and of course we have one of the not members of staff, like a servant. We have a servant coming in and say, "Excuse me, sir, get out, get out, I told you not to interfere in this." And of course he goes, Dr. Warlock walks in, and I really like how the Egyptian and Dr. Warlock really have that argument. And of course, "I have been given this permission by Professor Scarman himself." And of course, I really love the fact where the caretaker, or basically the servant, is there basically listening to the conversation between the Dr. Warlock and the other, and of course the Egyptian person, and he hears the door tweaking. So I want to talk about the new effects. I love the brand new pyramid effect. Before we get into the actual episode, the pyramid effect looks so good. I love the fact how they've kind of kept the new TARDIS sound. So when you've got the old wood effect of the TARDIS where it opens like that, what we hear in basically from season 27 onwards. So I like the fact how they use that sound, a bit like they did it for the Daleks. So that was kind of cool, which I actually did quite enjoy and absolutely flipping loved about it. So they have kept that sound. I really love how good it looks. Honestly, it's just brilliant. Honestly, it looks so good. And I can tell some money's been put into this by the BBC and Bad Wolf Studios. Unfortunately, Disney has not put the money into this. So basically, this has nothing to do with Disney. Unlike basically season 40. So, of course, as the Doctor and Sarah Jane pretend to leave the building because they hear the argument between the Egyptian and Dr. Warlock, the Egyptian does pull a gun on Dr. Warlock, and of course he shoots him thanks to the Doctor after the servant is strangled by a robot mummy. I absolutely love the fact how the Doctor's there carrying basically Dr. Warlock, and of course he's there while Sarah Jane runs ahead to try and get to Lawrence Scarman, basically Marcus's brother. And of course, I love the fact how basically Sarah's like, "Doctor, I saw a mummy, a real life mummy." "Don't be so daft. There is no such thing as real mummies." I love the fact how the Doctor basically has to try and explain that it's a robot, which is actually quite good. And I really love the sarcophagus scene. The sarcophagus scene, basically where you got the Egyptian playing the music, and of course you have the new time vortex. So when I say about that, when it opens up, it's normally in the original version we kind of have these kind of like funny sort of light things going on, and of course now they've literally just placed the new time vortex from season 40 and the 60th anniversary specials into it, which is actually quite cool. And I like how they've done that, but basically adding the new time vortex into a really old scene that's basically been worked on. I love the scene with the Doctor's there basically explaining to Lawrence basically about his machine that is pointing to the moon. I love the fact we literally have a little piece of music from Legopolis. Now, I don't get why they kind of went for the Legopolis theme type generation music playing where it goes do 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 like that, and I don't get why they did that where the Doctor's there explaining. It looks a little bit, it's just it sounds so out of place. But it's the only thing about the new version I don't actually quite like, and I'm sorry to say that is the only version that I don't like about it. But I love the rest of the story. The CGI effects is absolutely brilliant. The new music that's been added into it, into the actual, it's so good. It's so good. It's so brilliantly good, and it really brings it up to date for the new modern audience. So I really do love the fact how they've done this. It does look so good. It's brilliant. It's amazing. And I love how the Doctor does defeat Sutekh, because basically Sutekh does take over the Doctor's mind. Sutekh is supreme. Like that. I really love how Sutekh takes over the Doctor's mind, but because he wants to let the Doctor go, the Doctor basically stops his hearts, like we know that the Doctor can do, and Romana can do. So the Doctor does stop his hearts basically for a couple of seconds, and then he reboots himself, and then he says to Sarah Jane, "You're soaking my shirt." I absolutely love the fact how the set on Mars looks so good. So good. I love the fact how they kept that fantastic scene with the Doctor and Sarah Jane walking around the corridor. A robot mommy turns around and literally turns around going, "Nope, look away." There's been a GIF basically made by that, so I will probably put that up. So I do love that scene's been kept in it. Some other scenes were basically cut out of it to give it kind of like a short span, like where Sarah Jane is trapped in one of the traps that Horus has made. The last of the Osirians, like Sutekh, and of course I love the fact how Marcus Scarman basically morphs into like the Jackal Head Sutekh, and of course to break the Eye of Horus. And of course I love the fact how it explains how the Doctor has to defeat Sutekh, because the Eye of Horus is keeping Sutekh a prisoner for two more minutes. So the Doctor's got 2 minutes to get from Mars to Earth, take a little bit of the time coordinates circuit board out of the TARDIS and places it in front of the sarcophagus to send Sutekh into 7,000 light years, 7,000 years into the future, into the far future where he's supposed to die. Or does he? Or does he? So yeah, I do love all the cast in this story. This story is absolutely brilliant. I mean, I love the original version, but this new version I absolutely love as well. It's the one time where I have to say the new version looks so much good and a little bit better than the original version, but that's because it looks like it had the same treatment to the Daleks in colour, but a little bit different, which is quite good. I really love that scene where basically the Doctor takes Sarah to 1980, because that just looks so good, and I don't know what they've done to it. I don't know if they upscaled it into HD or whatever. It just looks so good, where you got Sarah Jane and Lawrence Scarman looking at the TARDIS in a decimated Earth that Sutekh has destroyed. I absolutely love it. I really do love that scene. It's iconic. And of course, I love the fact how they kind of play with that scene a little bit again in the Devil's Cord. Again, I really love that references. Really quite good as well. So yeah, I'll go have to say Pyramids of Mars, although it is literally a 10 out of 10, it's still a 10 out of 10. This new version is quite good. I don't get why they played the Legopolis theme music, like the Regeneration theme from Legopolis in that little scene where the Doctor's there explaining. I don't get why they've done that. It does sound a little bit out of place. I don't know if they just did that to try and be a little bit iconic and whatever, but yeah, I'm not going to say much. I really ain't going to say much about that. So, Tales of the TARDIS version of Pyramids of Mars. It is definitely a AAA. It's definitely a AAA, or shall I say, it's a 6 AAA. So it's literally an A with 6 pluses because it is iconic. I absolutely love it. Pyramids of Mars is still my 3rd favourite story from the Tom Baker era. It is my favourite story from season 13 completely. Absolutely brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I really love the new, what they've done to it. I love the fact the Doctor and Ruby are there talking, and the Doctor's there trying to explain, like, to Ruby, oh, I was a different man when I first encountered Sutekh. That was kind of good, which I absolutely loved. I love the ending as well, where basically Ruby says, you encountered Sutekh. Like, oh, you thought he was dead? Yes. Ruby, I defeated Sutekh when he was literally like a humanoid. I don't know how I'm going to defeat him. So it doesn't lead into anything to the Empire of Death. It's literally the Doctor and Ruby basically talking about how the Doctor first defeated Sutekh, and he doesn't know how he's going to literally stop Sutekh in basically Empire of Death, which is actually quite good. So I'm quite looking forward to seeing Empire of Death later on today in the cinema. So, what do you think of Pyramids of Mars? Is it one story that you absolutely love? Is it one story you do not love? Is it good? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments. Please do like, subscribe and share. And of course, join me for more awesome Doctor Who content. And of course, join me on Sunday for my review on the Empire of Death. Because I've got a very, very, very busy day on Saturday. A very, very busy day. And I'm back at work on Sunday. So basically my review for Empire of Death will be out on the Sunday afternoon. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review, and basically welcome to Paul Who. For those who have basically lately subscribed to my channel, I hope you love all my content. Thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe and share, and of course stay absolutely magnificent viewers and subscribers. Have a great day.